crucial Commonwealth Day for the monarchy after Harry and Meghan used their vile Netflix reality series to try and tear down the late Queen's most treasured institution. Here's a reminder.
Tom Bower is not some careless chatterbox. Oh no, this man has made a career out of digging where others dare not. He thrives on the uncomfortable truths people would rather keep buried. And now he's dropped what may be his most explosive revelation yet. This time it isn't just whispers or subtle hints. Bower has gone straight for the jugular, raising questions about the true parentage of Archie and Lilibet. Yes, you heard that right. And the reaction? Pure devastation in Harry's camp. The prince, once the brave soldier of Diana's legacy, is reportedly livid, absolutely seething. He's warning Bower and others to stop spreading what he calls dangerous lies. But here's the thing. Why such fury if there's really nothing to hide? Why the panic? Why the threats? If these claims were pure fantasy, wouldn't Harry simply laugh them off? Instead, his rage only adds fuel to the fire. It screams that Bower has touched a raw nerve. The Sussex fairy tale they've crafted, glossy, polished, carefully staged, suddenly looks fragile. And Bower? He's tearing straight through it, pointing out glaring inconsistencies that have been sitting in plain sight all along.
Met people in communities all around the world. And through that, I thought I knew. I thought I had an awareness to
Bower didn't mince words. He zoomed right in on Meghan's pregnancies, those mysterious, secretive times cloaked in silence. So unlike the joyous, transparent royal births we've seen before. Why the secrecy? Why the refusal to share details like every other royal couple did? His message to the world was loud and clear. Something doesn't add up here, and the public deserves answers. For years now, whispers about surrogacy have never truly died down. Meghan's bump seemed to shift oddly in size, her movements raising eyebrows. She skipped the royal tradition of hospital photo calls, hiding away instead. The inconsistencies piled up higher and higher. Critics demanded, if there's nothing to hide, why all the cloak and dagger? Bower, with his credibility and fearless delivery, reignited the flames of that debate. Suddenly, speculation wasn't just gossip, it had weight. And Harry, according to insiders, he's unraveling. Behind closed doors, he's warning Bower to back off, losing his composure in a way that only makes people believe the author has struck dangerously close to the truth.
Shame the Sussexes have ensured their kids are known as Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet because it is their birthright. Well, Meghan's biographer Tom Bower joins me now to give his...
Harry's fury isn't looking like strength. It looks like fear. Every shout, every threat, every moment of anger convinces more of the public that Tom Bower has hit a nerve, maybe even uncovered the truth itself. Meghan, the strategist, has jumped into action the way she knows best: lawyers. Reports say her team has fired off cease and desist letters, waving legal threats at anyone daring to repeat Bower's claims. But hasn't she learned? Every time she plays that card, it backfires spectacularly. Instead of killing the story, lawsuits and threats only throw it into the spotlight. And now, critics are saying it outright. Meghan's desperate attempt to silence the noise has only made it louder.
Sis, Tom, it's interesting, isn't it? Because this Commonwealth Day actually was important because of all of the damage that Netflix series did literally a few weeks ago.
The palace's silence, however, may be the most deafening sound of all. Think back to William and Catherine. When their children were born, the entire world was invited in. Photos, smiles, celebrations on the hospital steps. Every milestone was shared. But with Archie and Lilibet, cold distance. No beaming Charles, no doting William, no proud embraces in front of the cameras, just silence. And for many, that silence says it all. A chilling acknowledgement, perhaps, that even within the palace walls, doubts are quietly alive. So here we are. Tom Bower throws down the question. Harry explodes in rage. Meghan panics with legal maneuvers. And the palace? They turn their backs. The more they all push back, the louder suspicion grows.
We want our Californian kids to be prince and princess. It's beyond a joke. It's beyond a joke now.
Well, it's queen of hypocrisy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they are the arch hypocrites. And what's so awful about the Commonwealth thing is...
Now the world wants answers, and it won't stop until it gets them. Questions of parentage, lineage, legitimacy, they're all on the table. And what comes next? DNA testing. Yes, the public demand is echoing everywhere. Prove it. Critics, journalists, royal watchers. They all agree that only one thing can silence the storm once and for all: DNA.
54 nations were part of it. And they have demeaned it by saying that it's all Empire /2 and the Netflix thing. But of course, the greatest damage which the Sussexes have done to the Commonwealth, is their accusation.
The logic here is brutal but simple. If Harry and Meghan have nothing to hide, then why resist? Why act like cornered animals every time someone mentions DNA testing? Their refusal doesn't calm suspicion, it fuels it. People are whispering no, shouting now. What are they so afraid of? Insiders close to the Sussexes describe Harry as paranoid, unstable, even consumed. The once admired prince, Diana's brave, cheeky son, is now seen as angry, erratic, obsessed with shutting down every critic. And let's face it, every rant, every lawsuit, every frantic denial only deepens the sense that he's covering something up. Remember when Harry's reputation was built on compassion and service? On the memory of the soldier who walked behind his mother's coffin? Now, that image has been shredded. What remains? A man consumed by lawsuits and outbursts, defined not by honor, but by rage.
Which he then peddled back on Harry, because he knew it was untrue. It was one of Meghan's many lies. And that is really what's so awful. And that's why Charles tried very hard yesterday to assert the importance of the Commonwealth. He's quite right.
And what about Meghan? While Harry spirals into rants and humiliation, she retreats into icy silence. Beyond those legal letters, she said nothing. Absolutely nothing. And to critics, her silence is damning. This is the same Meghan who once controlled every headline, every interview, every angle of her story. She couldn't resist the spotlight, but now when the questions cut deepest, she's vanished. For many, her silence screams louder than Harry's fury. It's the silence of someone who knows the truth is too dangerous to confront. Meanwhile, the palace's refusal to defend them is becoming impossible to ignore. When William and Catherine had children, the monarchy stood proudly beside them. With Archie and Lilibet, the contrast is stark, even painful.
Well, the problem is it's had none of the pickup as the Netflix series did. What did you make of the prince and princess thing? Because it felt very telling to me that the royal family didn't...
No public hospital steps. No grandfatherly embrace from Charles. No warm brotherly show from William. Just distance. Cold, undeniable distance. It almost looks as if the royals themselves want to keep space to shield themselves from the storm they know is brewing. And here lies the real tragedy, because this isn't just about Harry and Meghan anymore. Their choices, their secrecy, their fury, it shadows their children. Archie and Lilibet's place in history in the royal story is already fragile. If the doubts continue, if suspicion festers, those innocent children risk being remembered not as royals, but as symbols of scandal. And that, more than Harry's anger or Meghan's silence, is the wound that may never heal.
Until they absolutely had to. Do you think Charles was hoping that Harry and Meghan would say, oh, you know what, we actually don't want the title?
Well, I think this is a very sad indication of King Charles's...
Unless the Sussexes finally pull back the curtain and offer real transparency, their children may grow up under a dark cloud they never asked for. This crisis isn't just about gossip anymore. It's about legitimacy, about lineage, about the very foundation of monarchy. Harry, by raging at Tom Bower, looks desperate. Meghan, by hiding behind lawyers, looks evasive. Together, they look guilty. The calls for DNA testing, they're not going away. The palace's silence, it's only making them louder. And in the middle of it all, Archie and Lilibet, two children who may carry the burden of secrecy for generations.
Which prevented them taking the titles. And just in the same way that he can't decide, really, whether Harry should come to the coronation or not. I mean, clearly, as a father, he'd like him there, but this isn't about being the father. This is about...
History is merciless. It doesn't forget and it doesn't forgive. If Harry and Meghan continue this path, anger, denial, silence, this scandal won't just define them. It will define their children, their legacy, their entire place in royal history. Tom Bower has unleashed the most explosive claim yet, that Archie and Lilibet's parentage is still shrouded in secrecy. And instead of dousing the flames, Harry's fury and Meghan's legal panic have thrown gasoline onto the fire. The palace still silent, the questions louder than ever, and now the public is united in its demand. Give us answers.
And he should make quite clear that Harry is not welcome. But everything about Charles is so indecisive. He can't even at the moment decide whether he should wear a uniform or not on the coronation, or breeches. And he can't decide which religious...
And here's where it gets even messier. The question tearing through social media right now is simple. Will Harry and Meghan ever agree to DNA testing, or will their refusal only deepen suspicion? The divide is fierce. Some say DNA now. They argue the Sussexes must prove Archie and Lilibet's legitimacy once and for all. Others defend them, insisting that privacy for the children must outweigh public demand. But what about the monarchy? Can the palace really stay silent forever? Shouldn't King Charles and Prince William William step in, if only to protect the integrity of succession? Because make no mistake, this scandal is no longer just idle gossip.
Been throughout his whole life. He wants to please everybody, and yet he poses as a confrontationist, and it doesn't work. So he should have, vis-a-vis the Sussexes, cancelled the titles, and he should make absolutely clear that Harry is not welcome.
This is about legitimacy, history, and the very future of the monarchy itself. And the truth, it always has a way of surfacing. The question now is whether Harry and Meghan will reveal it on their own terms, or whether one day the truth will burst out in ways they can't control. So here's the call. Where do you stand? Should DNA testing finally end the whispers once and for all, or has the scandal already spiraled beyond repair? The audience is no longer whispering behind closed doors. They're demanding, loudly in every headline, in every comment section, DNA tests, clarity, transparency, and every time Harry rages or Meghan hides, that demand grows louder. This isn't just about two adults anymore. It's about Archie and Lilibet's futures. Imagine them growing up with their very legitimacy constantly questioned. Imagine titles, roles, even succession rights thrown into chaos because their parents refused to put the speculation to rest. That's the terrifying possibility, and it's one the Sussexes can't escape by lashing out or by lawyering up, because every furious warning Harry shouts at Tom Bower, every legal threat Meghan issues, every icy silence from the palace, it all leads to the same conclusion. The world believes something is being hidden. The monarchy, history, legacy, it's all hanging by a thread. Unless Harry and Meghan come clean, this scandal won't fade into yesterday's gossip. It will grow, evolve, and eventually consume their story. Not on their terms, but on history's.